You were mentioning Calvin Austin III on the long touchdown pass from Mason Rudolph. Great throw by Rudolph, and Greg Bell, the running back, held off an oncoming blitzer just long enough. Rudolph still took a shot and delivered it right on the money. But I go back to what Mike Tomlin has said about Calvin Austin III when asked about what abilities he brings to the field, and that's speed. Getting him the ball in the open field, whether it's a go route, whether it's a quick screen, whether it's in the return game. It was cool to see him showcase his ability in the opener, considering this is almost like his rookie season. We didn't see him for a single snap in 2022 due to injuries.
Yeah. So with Calvin Austin III, it's more like and Coach been stressing this, and he always stressed this with receivers who really are not, 6'2", 6'4" receivers. At some point in time, you just got to play big. Even though you small in stature, you got to play big. We asked Jaylen Warren to play big, even though he's not tall in stature, and he does. That's what he do. He plays big, and that's what Coach T been asking from Calvin Austin III. And the last week or week and a half, that's exactly what Calvin Austin has been doing. He's been playing big. Now, playing big for Calvin Austin is, going through that highway traffic in between, the safeties and the linebackers and still catching the ball, knowing you might take a shot. So that's what he's been doing. Having a deep shot, acting like you're 6'4", 6'2", down the field when it comes down to them combat catches. That's exactly what Calvin Austin been doing. So it's just the consistency part you want to see Calvin do that. And as long as he's translating that on the field, we're going to be perfectly fine. But that's just the growth and development you and I are talking about right now on the show.
You say watch the sideline, Ike, and after that touchdown pass, everyone was really, really excited. It's obviously a long touchdown, but it's an element of the Steelers offense, and it was the same thing with the long George Pickens touchdown too, Ike, where the game-breaking plays that can take the top off a defense, keep a defense honest, that's been missing. We saw Anthony McFarland get into the mix too, to where the speed portion, Ike, is something that this offense is desperately needed because it's been underneath. Because again, say what you want about Matt Canada, and I've been as big a critic as anyone, Ike, but did you have the personnel to be able to do that? And now that you do, and you get to see those things, you get to see elements of an offense that you haven't seen in previous seasons. Ike, I'm going into this season very, very excited, having seen those things. But for me, what I have written in my notes is speed, written in all caps, whether we're talking about Calvin Austin III, Anthony McFarland, who to me has solidified himself as the third string running back. Now, is he going to get that many opportunities offensively? No, probably not. But from a special team standpoint, he is going to need to contribute. And then, I'm not trying to wish an injury into an existence, but say if Najee Harris or Jaylen Warren were to get hurt, you need someone in there who's capable, who can help shoulder the load from carrying the football. And from what I've read in training camp and then what he did in the opener, Anthony McFarland did that. But again, what I want to emphasize, Ike, is the speed on offense that we've just been missing the last several seasons.
Yeah. And that's something, to be honest with you, Deontay can run. Calvin Austin's speed, the third, is different kind of speed. We want to talk about 4.3s. That's a different kind of speed. And able to translate that from, combine speed to actual game speed, you're starting to see that. But George Pickens ain't slow either, But so as a receiver in the league, and Coach T always, and us always, the front office, we're always looking for a particular trait that you can have that's special to you and to us. And right now, it's just like the freakish ability of the radius of catching that, George Pickens can do. Again, one of the best route runners sitting on the left side of offense, Deontay, when it comes down to that. And, of course, that interesting trait that you can't coach, and that speed with Calvin Austin III. So it's just going to be real interesting from the running back standpoint. Anthony McFarland coming in, whenever they want him to come in, being a mismatch coming out the backfield, having that speed, getting to the sideline. You saw in the Tampa game, man, as soon as he saw some daylight towards that pot line, he just ran straight to it. And really nobody was in sight. So it's a little bit of everything. You do have to have speed. It is a threat if I'm a defensive coordinator, and I know somebody on that offensive side, especially on that perimeter side, has some kind of speed and make you think twice about a few coverages that you want to run, about blitzing. a high percentage if you was to blitz. So that speed is something, man, you can't coach, and it's definitely a threat from an offensive side, especially if you're a defense coordinator. Knowing you might have somebody on the opposite side who can get past anybody that's on the field that you're on. So that definitely is a good trait, Mark.
With McFarland as well, like he's entering the final year of his rookie contract. So he's trying to fight for not just his survival with the Steelers, but his survival in the league. We've heard all offseason long about the value of NFL running backs, but carve out a role for yourself and a role that Benny Snell has served the last several seasons. But there's that opportunity. And that was one of the questions I had coming into this season, Ike, was who is going to be the third guy behind Najee and Jaylen Warren? And right now it looks like it's Anthony McFarland. Now
another guy too, just like Calvin Austin III, Mark, who's small in stature and got to play big. And playing big for him is running in between the tackles. We know you can bounce it on the outside. You can get, but what's going to happen when they just close that detour road when you got to go in between the two guards and the tackle. So he's been challenged as well as running the inside. He's been doing a heck of a job. He understands them 3-4 yards when coach says 2nd and 6 and now it's 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3. It helps the offense a lot. So that's exactly what he's been challenged to do as well, and he's been doing that too.